You're listening to the Robert Elms Show, and if you were listening a little earlier, you'd have heard our listed Londoner of the week, the absolutely charming Russell Henderson, say that his favourite fictional Londoner is none other than Sherlock Holmes, who is, I have to say, the most popular, famous favourite fictional Londoner of them all. Whenever we ask that question in listed Londoner, he was, until very recently, the only fictional Londoner with a statue and a blue plaque. Certainly a blue plaque, the only one until very recently. And he's also got a play at the moment. He's got a play entitled The Hound of the Baskervilles, the radio play. But it's not on the radio. I'll have to have it explained, and the two people sitting opposite me can do that. They're Natalie-Anne Downs, Artistic Director of the London-based VENI Theatre Company, and Henry Douthwaite. Is it Douthwaite?
That's the one, Douthwaite.
Who, among other things, is Sherlock Holmes. Welcome both of you to BBC London.
Thank you for having us.
First of all, Natalie, tell me a bit about the production, because it's quite specific, isn't it?
It's very specific, yeah. It's a piece inspired by the infamous recordings by Orson Welles in the 1930s from the Mercury Theatre Company. And this show is about a group of radio superstars from that period who come together...
When there were radio superstars.
When there were radio superstars, yes.
I wish.
Don't do yourself down.
No. And some of them are sort of huge superstars, some of them are technicians, and they've come together and they rehearse all week and they come together to put on a broadcast. And the broadcast this week is The Hound of the Baskervilles. And there's various different narratives that are happening all at the same time. So we have the play presented, The Hound of the Baskervilles, on microphones as a radio drama, and then in the background we watch these people playing out their evening, and we've got hundreds of sound Foley props, so you'll watch how all the
what props?
Sound Foley props.
What are sound Foley props?
So it's basically anything that makes a noise. So we have wind machines, we have things that make rain sounds.
Two forms of rain machines, both a drizzle and a heavy rain.
Right.
We've even got props that aren't used. We've got a horn and a hotel bell that just sit happily on the table at the back. We have a whole tray full of different squares of items that make sounds, pebbles, videotape that create leaf sounds, and just a plain old wooden floor.
So where did this play come from?
The play of The Hound of the Baskervilles was written by Simon Williams originally as a stage play, and what I did was take the stage play and turn it into a usable radio script, so I had to move a few things around and change a few things, and then I added my own script on top of that.
Okay, so you've written this play about a play.
It's a play about a play, yeah.
Absolutely.
We did a lot of workshops, and we based a lot of these radio characters and radio superstars on famous people. So Henry here plays Sherlock Holmes, but he also plays Charles W. Carson, who's a little bit like Orson Welles. So there's a lot of research that's gone into the period to find appropriate actors from the time and create our own ones.
And do you get to wear the clothes of the time?
Yes, everything is vintage, as best as we can possibly get it. So,
I'm in a bowler.
Oh, good. Because you see, if you're going to be an actor and you can't dress up in good old vintage clothing, what would be the point?
Tell me about it.
And everyone, I think, when they did radio broadcasts, everyone was had to dress up. Yeah. So even if you weren't being seen, there was definitely a formal state about it.
Mm. Why do you think a play set in kind of 1930s radio land is going to appeal? What's the...
I think that vintage of that period is very now. Lots of people do like to dress up and go out in that time.
I think it's the fact that you're observing a variety of different things. Basically, you have the play, you have The Hound of the Baskervilles, which is being told to you, but you can also view the actors creating the sounds that you're listening to, so you can actually close your eyes and get the full impact of what the actors are doing. But then on top of that, there are these 1930s radio stars who are having their relationships with each other in the background and in between the show itself. And
is there a mystery within the mystery and a drama within the drama, so to speak?
There are hints.
There are hints of it. So without giving too much away, it's quite clear that some of these actors don't get on. Some of them are...
Well, they're actors.
Exactly. Some of them are having an affair.
No.
Some of them... No, surely not. Some of
are
them...
they?
I can tell you that. We've got somebody who's their first day and it's their first broadcast, and she's fantastic. So she's like this beaming girl on set at all times.
Overwhelmed by everything.
How many in the cast?
9. It's 9 in total.
I mean, this sounds like it's quite a big production for a kind of a fringe theatre, so to speak.
It's really an ensemble piece, and they really worked as a cast. They work brilliantly well together. It does sound like a big cast, but when you put them together and they're moving around, you just don't notice how big it is. And as I said, they work very well.
Tell us about the theatre. I mean, it's around the corner from where I live, but I must admit I've never been inside. I've been past it many, many times and wondered what goes on in there quite. It's the Teatro Technice.
Well, I mean, I don't know that much more about it than you do. I believe it was started around about the 50s or so.
I think so.
Largely used for Greek dramas.
Because that was a very, very big Greek community around, a Greek Cypriot community around there at one point.
And I think now it's both a music venue and a venue for theatre as well. I know there is a Greek tragedy performance of the Bacchae coming in after us, but it is used for a variety of different things and is actually a really nice venue. It's for our purposes, it's on 3 sides, so you can get the full impact of different angles. And
how many does it hold?
It's 120 seats, 120, and it's a very small theatre. It's quite old, and it really, really suits the piece to have everyone that close in, because you want them to join in with what's happening. I think if it was in a very, very large auditorium, you'd lose a little bit of the personality that are coming off the stage.
Does it make it scarier if the audience are very close up?
Funnily enough, if the front row is completely filled, no, not at all. However, if there are 1 or 2 people just at the front, it can be a little difficult on occasion to avoid their faces, eye contact with them. So basically, I just have to stare at the mic almost constantly, which is kind of effective anyway, because if you were in a closed studio, you would, I suppose, naturally focus on your audience, which is in the microphone anyway.
Do you get to wear a deerstalker and smoke a pipe at any stage?
I smoke a pipe, yeah.
I've allowed him that one.
But no deerstalker.
Shame. But it is still Sherlock Holmes. Plus, it's entitled The Hound of the Baskervilles, the radio play. It's on at the Teatro Technice, which is 26 Crowndale Road. It's just by Mornington Crescent Tube. And how long you got?
We've got from tonight all the way through to Saturday.
So is it first night tonight?
No, we've been running for a week.
Okay.
This is the last week, so it's on every night at 7:30. And Friday, for those people who are really interested in vintage world, on Friday we are having a dress up for our audience evening, which is dressed like it's 1938.
And that's this coming Friday?
That's this coming Friday at 7:30. And also for any visually impaired audience that might want to come along, we are running some touch tours for them to be able to experience what it's like, and bring them in at 6 o'clock to touch the set. And
where can people get information and tickets and all of that?
If you can go to our website, which is www.VENIVDtheatre.com, and all the information is on our website.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.